Take two. Hello and welcome to Conversations with Curtis. All right. It's always nice to start off screwing up. Screwing up is the best way to start. That way you have nowhere to go but up. So that's my philosophy and I'm sticking to it. How are you all doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. Is it Friday? How is it Friday? It was just Friday. It was Friday a minute ago and now it's Friday again. Good to see you all. I'm seeing a bunch of, it's just a great combination of names I haven't seen before. Beast Mode, What's Crackalackin? Cool name. Eric Bengt, welcome. What's up from Sweden? Hello to Sweden. And then, of course, our regulars, T and Tank Controls. Good to see you, Ozzy. Zen Solipsist, we are excited as well. Yeah, it's just awesome. All sorts of cool folks. I think I saw Schwex on here. Jeffrey. Yeah, good to see you guys. Joseph. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is going to be a lot of fun. We've been looking forward to this and trying to schedule this for a while now. As you, those of you who have been watching know, occasionally when we do our Wheel of Curtises, we will, if once we get to a certain goal, we either give games away, but other times we have actually offered up a guest spot to some of our fans to come join us and share a game of their choosing. We've done that with Jouex, we've done it with Clement, and today we're doing it with BevinRed. Bevin's going to join us in a little bit and tell us why we are playing today's game, Lamplight City. And what little I know of it, it looks really cool, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So it should be out in just a little bit. Sorry I missed y'all on Wednesday. We've been doing 3 streams a week for a little while now. It's and I've made all of them, and so it was actually I felt very guilty not being there on Wednesday. But work called, and it sounds like Daniel had a really good fun time doing his speed through. So I'll ask him about that in a minute. But yeah, what else? What else? Anything else? We're thinking of getting a dog. Our family, we had a dog before we had kids, and loved that dog, Frida. And Frida, we lost Frida when my daughter was just a baby, and then we never got another animal, the fish, for a little while. But now my daughter, who's not a baby, really has been pushing to get us a dog, and she's winning, and it looks like we might have a dog sometime in the next couple of weeks. We've met a couple contenders. So we'll see. One, I'll tell you all about that later. If I get the dog, I'll tell you the dog story. But for now, I'll just tell you that we're thinking of getting a dog, and I think it'll be fun. Spoonie could not. Somebody asked about Spoonie. He could make it today, but we'll push back to next week. Partly just because we've been sitting on this for a long time. We asked Bevin to be a guest a couple of months back, and I know that her schedule is such that Fridays are the best for her to take time off of work and all that. So we wanted to fulfill that today. So that's why we're taking a little break from our recent Fridays with Spoonie. So that's the story there, and we're excited to have him back hopefully next week. All right, I'm going to bring Daniel out in a second, but before I do, let's say thank you to our Patreon and Coffee members. These are the folks who keep Conversations with Curtis going, keep us streaming, keeping us creating this content, doing these interviews, doing these live streams, having all sorts of fun guests join us. It's because of these folks right here. These are the folks that give us a monthly stipend to help us keep going. And these are our $10 and $20 and above members. So thank you for joining and for being the engine that keeps this thing running. And as always, I just want to take time to thank our top donor, Malika Chandler. She has been incredibly supportive, and just can't thank her enough. Followed by Francois Damigella, Robbie Thurio, Moffat Reborn, Tyler Drinkard, Yuma81, and Corbett Chu. You guys rock. Thanks so much. If you don't see your name and you are a Coffee or Patreon member, that's because you're not in the $10 range. If you want to be in this thing, then you need to bump up to $10 or more. Otherwise, your name will be in the end credits. We have the end credits where all of our supporters are listed there. And if you can't support us on a monthly basis, you guys have heard this. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at saying this over and over again. Repetition helps. Then you can always just do a one-time donation by contributing to one of these streams, by donating to the coffee.com right there. Coffee.com allows us to keep more of your donations. So if you want to give us something to help us keep going, please give it there as opposed to the YouTube Super Chat. The YouTube Super Chat is cool, but they also take 50% of your donation, which is not cool. But we keep a running tally of our top 7 donors over the last 30 days. James Jenkins has leapt into the lead for 2 weeks in a row now, surpassing Jwex, who was in the lead for many weeks. Followed by CJ, Fun Guy Plays, Brain of CJP. I wonder if Brain of CJP has anything to do with CJ. And then Within War, number 6, and YT Wander. Thanks to you all for your support. I don't know if we'll get to our goal today. We're not anywhere near, but maybe we can get there if you guys want to help us out. What are we? 50%? I can't really see from this window. It's small. Anyway. But yeah, if we get there today, we will give something away. All right, that's all I got for that. Why don't we bring out our pal Daniel? And I haven't seen him in a while. How you doing? I haven't seen you. I mean,
I'm
saw
fine.
you for a
How are
second.
you?
Good. What's new? You had a day on Wednesday without me. Did you miss me? No? Not
Sure,
at
I
all, huh?
missed you, Paul. I missed you because we should have celebrated the 20th anniversary of Phantasmagoria 1 together. But instead, you chose work over me.
I would never celebrate that game. That's not my game. We don't celebrate the enemy. We celebrate. No, I don't know. I was busy working.
I'll clip it and send this clip to Tori. Okay.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I was trying to, you try to say something funny, and then about halfway through the attempt, you realize it's not going to be funny, and then you're just stuck with that awful, not funny thing you're about to say. And that was what happened.
Moving on.
So, tell me about your speed through.
Okay, I did a speed run of Phantasmagoria 1, and my personal record went down from 9 minutes and 1 second to 7 minutes and 21 seconds. And
Dang,
while I
congratulations.
was doing this crap, people were actually breaking world records in the past week. The world record of Phantasmagoria 1 has been broken 4 times. Like, it's been 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Then the day after, it's been 5 minutes, 21 seconds. Then the day after, it was 5 minutes and 19 seconds. There are two
How many
people who are
people are doing this?
currently, there are 4 active people. 2 of them are the ones who broke the world records. And one of them was also in the chat when I did my speedrun, probably laughing his ass off, looking at my 7 minutes and 21 seconds.
Do
And
you see your way? Do you see a day in the future where do you see what it will take? Like my son right now is running track. It's a little different than speed runs of video games. It's actually speed runs of running. Not everybody gets that, but that's what he does. And he has a certain number on his 100, 200 meter, that he has to get to. And there's some real significant difference between, where he is and where he needs to get to. And when you're that far off, do you feel like, how the heck do other people get to that? Do you feel like you can get to that 4 minute spot, or you're like,
I feel
it's
like
too much?
I can get to that. The thing is that these people have like 5 hour streams on a daily basis. And so the last time I did a speedrun of Phantasmagoria 1 was the beginning of July. So I do a speedrun every 2 months, and
Yeah.
then I have
Yeah,
to
you're not
first
in
of
shape.
all get yeah. So I talked about before the stream. I talked about my Garmin watch. Now my Garmin watch has a setting in which you can set abnormal heart rate, and it lets you know in case there is an emergency and your heart rate is too high, but you're not doing anything to justify that heart rate. And so if you're sitting down and your heart rate is high, then it sounds an alarm. And so during the speed run, an alarm sounded because I
Your
wasn't
heart rate went
moving,
up.
and it didn't understand why my heart rate was so high. And so it's recorded. It's in the speed run, so you can watch that
That's funny.
humiliating
Yeah,
part.
I'll as soon as we're done here, I'll get right on that. I'll watch that riveting moment where your heart rate goes up. That's right on top of my list right now.
And yesterday, I interviewed Dan Connors, who was the former Telltale CEO. That's it.
Excellent. How did that go? Wait, let me guess. First of all, how many, when you contacted him, what did you schedule how much was he expecting originally? How long was he expecting the chat to be?
This specific interview is special because we already did that interview, and he just asked to redo it. So I knew exactly how long it will be the second time around.
You're going to redo it?
We redid it. Yesterday was the redoing of the interview.
And how long was the interview? No, let me guess. 3.5 hours.
No, the original was 2.5 hours, and the redoing of the interview was 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm so glad you redid it. It sounds like you made a huge improvement.
I should speedrun my own interviews.
Yeah. Well, are you excited about today? Have you ever played this game before, Daniel?
No, I have not.
Oh, sweet. I love it when we find games that you have not come across. Well, let's bring out our guest. Our guest today is BevinRed. Bevin is a fan who found us through like a lot of you, I think, found us through the Spoonie interview that we did a while back, and has been with us ever since. I came up. So Bevin is like me, is a Seattleite, which is awesome. She's a former actor, belly dancer, worked in post-production here in Seattle. She's also done some game development, 3D modeling, 3D printing, and currently is a paralegal. So it doesn't seem like she's very busy at all, but she has seemed to have found some time to join us today. Everybody say hey to Bevin for us. Hey, Bevin.
Hi.
Hello.
So you do a lot of things. You don't like to sit still. You like to bounce around and
I always do at least three things at once.
so what after all this, and I have a friend of mine who I saw recently. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he was an actor here in Seattle, went to Cornish. Um, and and now he's a lawyer. He didn't even go to law school. He just decided to study up and become a lawyer. And he actually is going to do his first trial, and I think this week. So
He should also be a
what is it
doctor while he's at it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What is it that
Why
gets
not?
you from all these other things, these mostly, very much uh, you know, mostly something to do with production and performance and all that on different sides of that world to get you to being a paralegal. What brought you there?
Well, I think as I mentioned in my super chat that got me here in the first place, when I was in theater school learning to be an actor, that was at the same time that you were working on Phantas 2. And at the time, my dream job learning to be an actor was not to go into TV or movies, but was to be in Sierra video games. I thought FMV was the future, and that was my plan. It didn't pan out.
So did I,
Obviously.
Bevin. So did I.
And I decided I actually didn't really want to be an actor anymore anyway. I was really more interested in technology, so I thought I'd go into film. So I moved to Seattle, went to film school, worked in film for a really long time. But I also was really still interested in the game development process on a number of different levels, art and programming and, performing, all of it. Like I was just always kind of keeping my, attention always a little bit on what was going on there. And while I was in film school and after, I was spending a lot of time in the AGS forums, the Adventure Game Studio forums, just how we ended up here today. The AGS forums was a great place for a lot of us who felt kind of the loss after the 90s of the great point and click adventure, amazing boom that we had. And then it just kind of died. It was kind of kept alive by amateurs in Adventure Game Studio. And I was obsessed. I spent a ton of time there and I played hundreds of games made by people just like me. I made a couple of them myself that I
cool.
showed to almost nobody.
Really?
One of them did
still exist somewhere? Are they still out there?
Somewhere, one of them does. And it did actually get me some actual game development work down the line, but that's another story. The important thing was that there was always, it kept a community of people who still loved this type of game going. And a lot of young people who started out there as hobbyists went on to create kind of this renaissance of point and click adventure that we kind of are enjoying today. I know you guys have already interviewed Dave Gilbert. He's one of the stars that came out of that community. Started out
many people consider him to be the sort of I wouldn't say single-handedly, but certainly took on that mantle of keeping that genre alive when no one else was doing it.
Absolutely. He was one of the people that was really a big part of that. There were others, and Francisco Gonzalez, who created Lamplight City, was another one who started out as basically a young person who loved this sort of game, was just really interested in telling stories, didn't know how to draw, didn't know how to code, just started playing around. And he did a bunch of little things. I don't want to get too in the weeds with AGS history, but he kind of sort of had his big break with his Ben Jordan series, which was his paranormal investigator series that he started. And the very first game, it was very crude, like the dodge and burn art style is still kind of infamous. The puzzles were very basic. But he just showed a lot of talent. He showed a lot of promise. He wrote interesting characters. He had like a really clear sense of storytelling and humor.
Yeah.
And he made 8 games in the bin, I think it was 8 in the series, and each one, like, he just got so much better. It was ridiculous. It was just like bump, 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 and people were really starting to pay attention to him. And eventually he went professional, and so that's
Oh, just yeah, we should have mentioned this earlier. Bevan had a couple of times when we were prepping in advance where she was glitching out a little bit. So this usually lasts a couple seconds and then she comes back. But it's a bummer. But
Just
she'll
so you
be
know,
back.
Kundislav Games just subscribed on YouTube. So
What?
yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, shoot. So I know that
Bevan.
when I do this, I usually think that everything is the ISP is on to you, Paul says. No, it's not. No, can't be. Although I did get new internet recently and it is not going as well as I had hoped. Oh, come on. Is she gone? Oh, we lost her. Okay, so she'll come back. So Daniel might have see if you can get us back to our other. Oh, you get us back to our other screen until she pops in.
Boom, boom, wait. Boom.
No.
Okay.
Ah! What happened? There we go. I've been I realized I haven't been changing my background very much. I've had this thing for a while, which is kind of just, very sort of I'm trying to find the thing that you do, like just the very basic, background that kind of moves. But I don't know, I kind of miss the Phantas 2 background. So I'm gonna go back to that. So you got your little
I
galaxy.
changed that. I changed my background a while back when I had the
Oh yeah, you had
futuristic.
the thing popping out. This is cool. I like it. I like it. And yeah, it works very well for you. I haven't found mine, so I think I'm just going to go back to. I mean, I should stick with it. What works? I got 1,000 screen grabs from Phantas 2, and I might as well just continue to zip through them.
Let me just send a DM to.
How come you're bigger than me? What's going on with that? All of a sudden, you're you taking just because you changed your just because you beat your record at Phantas 1. Yeah, that was those were the days, man. I loved it when you were just off to the side. I could mute you if I needed to. Welcome, Skeleton Pizza and Dragon Mutsu. We're getting a lot of people today. And again, anybody who's here assuming and not looking at our YouTube channel schedule, assuming that we were going to continue Ripper with Spoonie today. Apologies, but you're wrong. We're going to get back to that probably next week. But today we're playing Lamplight City with our special guest, BevinRed. Bevan won a Wheel of Curtis a few months back, where she gets to be our special guest today and play a game of her choice. And it's going to be Lamplight City, if we can get her back.
But by the way, I wanted to tell you something. A while back, I presented you with a theory that GOG always places games that we just played on sale like 5 days after we play them.
You're convinced that they're watching us,
I'm
and
convinced.
that we have become a massive influencer, and they are watching our every move.
Okay, so Bevin's computer crashed, so she'll be right back.
Okay.
But when we played Not for Broadcast 2 days later, it was on sale. When we played, I don't know, what was it? Blackwell Legacy. A couple of days later, it was on sale. And now, which game is on sale? Goblins.
Goblins is on sale. Way.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we've worked with GOG before, so I'm sure they're watching the channel secretly.
No doubt. No doubt. Just they probably have a full-time employee. Hey, she's back. Welcome. Yeah, Zoom can do that to you.
Sorry about that.
No, I mean, I hope we maybe. Did you do a reboot?
Yeah, I had a couple things plugged in that I unplugged. Hopefully that will help
We're getting a little bit of sound
simplify
issue here.
my setup.
Did
Now
you
your
change your
sound-
mics? Because currently we're hearing you in lower quality than before.
Do you have an external mic there? Oh no, did you freeze again? No, you didn't freeze. Okay, good. Now, anytime somebody just takes a moment and sits quietly, it feels like they're frozen. Anyway, yes, Daniel, I'm sure that they have a full-time employee now that is
I'm
devoted
telling
to
you.
just watching us.
You know what? Let's do another experiment. Let's see if Lamplight City goes on sale next week.
Let's do it. All right, let's start. I think now's the time.
Given the developer is watching us, maybe he'll put it on sale next week. Just to.
Is this better?
It's
Yes.
better. Yes. There it is.
Yes. Okay. I've reconfigured everything. I hope it's simpler. I hope my computer doesn't freak out again.
Me too. Now, before it does freak out again, you talked a little bit about the maker of this game and that being a part of about AGS and how he kind of went off. So tell us about the game itself and why you chose this today. And I also, if I'm not mistaken, you have some personal involvement with this game, yeah?
You can call it that. I hope we get to it. Yeah. So one of the reasons that I'm a really big fan of this game and other of his games is it's kind of come up sometimes in chat and in discussion of games in general is the audio dimension of games and how sometimes that's like left really sort of as a sort of afterthought. And Francisco has an incredible appreciation of the audio element from music, from voice acting. He's a musician and a voice actor himself, so that's probably part of it. But a lot of people just sort of kind of like put some sound on and they don't think it's as important as the visuals. But it was one of the things that was like really heavily hit into me in filmmaking and in game development is it's like, no, the audio element is extremely difficult to get right. And it is actually psychologically even more important in some cases than the visuals. So Francisco does dynamic music, gets really, really good composer, musicians, everything, hires the best voice actors, like puts just a lot of work into it. And so it's something that like to look out for. And this was one of those games where like it has a beautiful visual atmosphere and people talk about that a lot, but I think I don't want them to ignore the audio elements that he puts into his games as well. And this is just one of those where I think the atmosphere, the storytelling, the great characters, and the world building, because this is like he's kind of created his own world here, and his game he's working on now that comes out next year exists in this same world is just really a fun package. So that's why I picked it.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait to play. And we decided that I'm going to be the first. I'll start with the controls, and you get to watch me and guide me through this experience. And Daniel, of course, you can take controls too because you've never played this before. But let me start. So let's do it. You're going to hit the resume. You're going to give me controls. Let's go.
There you have it. By the way, Bevin, you're an actor and a game developer, so you basically took both of our careers and made them a side job or something you do.
There you go. Oh, and Bevin, I wanted to ask you, and maybe we can get to this at some other point, but I do want to know, you mentioned that when you decided you wanted to act in video games, you also mentioned that it was around the time of Phantas 2. Had you played Phantas 2 at that time, or was that a game that made a impression on you in some way?
No, I had I'd seen the
answer
I saw the reviews and decided to skip it.
No, I saw the advertisements because I used to get the like Sierra magazine that they would send out, and I saw like all of the press for Phantas 1, and I was really obsessed with it. But I didn't have a game, like a computer that could play even Phantas 1 for many years. I didn't play it until like the early 2000s, and I never played Phantas 2. I can't remember if I even heard of it. Like by then I was just like so off into my own like world, and I was very kind of disillusioned with the whole game thing, and I kind of stopped playing games for a while, especially because I couldn't afford a good enough computer. It was very frustrating for me. So I didn't encounter Phantas 2 for a really long time, and I kind of regret that. Like I wish I could have.
When
played
did you
both of them
eventually play it? Because this story is going. I thought it was going to a point where you'd say that in the early 2000s I played Phantasmagoria 2 and it was the greatest game ever. But instead you're saying I never played Phantasmagoria 2.
I didn't even finish Phantas 1 because it kept crashing on me.
Yeah, it crashed on me as well.
All right, enough. Let's play this game.
Yes, let's play.
All right, do I have the controls? I don't see that I have the controls. Oh, there I go. I got it. Never mind. Leave me alone. All right, here we go. New game. Nice. The horse clops. Everybody hear everything okay? Sound is good? Oh, already? Jeez, we don't even have a... All right, I don't mind not having a, a cutscene to start up. Rough night. Wake up, sunshine. Bill, wake up. The carriage is on fire. Oh, well, I got 3 options. Okay. Let's do wake up, sunshine.
I love the fact that the dialogue options are shaking along with the train.
Yeah, I agree.
Bill, wake up! The carriage is on fire!
That's only funny when I do it to you.
Nice.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Bit too much Bollingworth ale is all. That stuff really creeps up on you.
Bollingworth
Sorry I
ale.
couldn't join you, but I was long overdue for a quiet night in with Addie.
That's fine. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Hell, maybe Adelaide can even join us. It's been ages since she last drank me under the table.
Afraid she mostly sticks to tea these days.
Miles, what exactly is it we're looking into? I may have dozed off during the briefing.
Nice. Good
way to present exposition.
I agree. You sleep through the briefings? Captain Snelling is going to notice one of these days. Let's do that.
Honestly, Bill, one of these days Snelling's gonna notice.
No, he won't. Why do you think they put him behind a desk? The man couldn't find his own backside with a pair of pliers and a lantern.
Very funny. Anyway, it's a burglary at the Hambrook Flower Shop.
A burglary, eh? How dull. At least we'll have enough time to get a drink
I
after
bet it
this.
won't be dull.
You seem awfully certain of that.
I am. In fact, I'd bet the devil my head that we're done within the hour.
Well, the
bet the
devil's gonna
devil
be
my
disappointed
head.
that his winnings are so meager.
Good stuff. All right. Oh, that's my little clock here. I like that we have a clock. Oh, what does this mean?
We've arrived. After you, Bill.
All right. The city of New Britannia, borough of Cholmondeley.
So Grundislav Games is in the chat, and he said that they have it drew great
Thank you.
inspiration
Keep the
from
change.
Gabriel Knight 1 for this first case.
Oh, I can see some of that. Certainly the flower shop. This looks a little bit like Gabriel's
our
bookshop,
night of
right?
excitement begins.
You, more than anyone else, should know that there's rarely a dull night in Chumley.
I have a feeling tonight will be the exception.
I like the way I said it better.
Until we get to the pub, that is.
Keep your mind on the case, Bill.
Cholmondeley.
Now let's get a move on.
Not Chumley. Left click to interact with objects. The mouse cursor is context sensitive. All right, sounds good. Let's go on the door.
Come
When
on,
you see
Bill.
this type of tutorial, you know that this game was made in the late 2010s. Because in the 90s...
I got
It's a charming little place, isn't it?
Charming, but empty. We need to find the owner.
Always so to the point, Fordham. If ever there was a better time to stop and smell the flowers.
I think I'll leave that to you, Bill.
With my allergies, hardly.
All right, can we smell a flower? Oh, so this is center display.
Not too many
Takes
left.
me on.
Seems business isn't so bad around here.
Well, you know what they say. There are only 3 certainties in life. Death, taxes, and people taking advantage of sales.
Turn the music
This
up a
is
little
quite
bit,
the
Daniel.
selection.
Yeah, I guess I
Come
could
over
do
here
that.
and take a whiff, Bill.
Sure, if you don't mind me getting snot all over your coat.
Oh, no, not the Myers case all over again. On second thought, you can just
When's
stay
the
over
last time
there.
you played this, Bevin?
I played it with my sister a few years after it came out.
Came out in
Nice.
2018, so
Okay,
Either in the
2018.
So yeah,
pandemic
so
or-
like probably early pandemic, yeah.
So we gotta go in there. Doorway. Nothing there. Oh, let's check out the shelf. Ah.
Mostly a bunch of fertilizer and growth tonics.
Growth tonics,
Why are you
eh?
looking?
Plant growth tonics, Bill.
Of course. I knew that.
Why is your back to the shelf and talking about the shelf? You should be looking at the shelf. All right, what about over here? Anything over here? Anything? Oh, what's that? We did that. All right, let's go in the door if we can.
Staircase isn't very well lit.
I'll go first. That way you can catch me if I fall.
We should probably ask for permission before heading up there.
I love the fact that
Oh,
the
yeah.
lamp is
We got work to
flickering
do.
because it works with a candle, and the flickering affects the shadows on the flowers.
Can I go anywhere? All right, so is there a bell to ring? I'm already lost. Okay, what's this? What do I do? Let's see.
Try to
Let's
find
check
your
out the
wallet
hanging plant.
underneath.
Do I have,
Plants hanging on hooks. A nice space-saving method.
I'd probably
Alright.
bang my head against them constantly if I had them in my apartment.
These seem to be part of the watering system for the flowers.
I haven't
Ooh,
seen
I
old
bet you that's
piping
gonna
like
come in
this in a
handy.
while. Seems like someone's reluctant to upgrade.
Okay. All right, so I can't go up the stairs until someone invites us. Let me use my gaming skills here. I can't go anywhere. I have a feeling I gotta leave this place and come back later. That's my guess. Daniel, what would you suggest?
Lost
Before
in
Bevan
thought
tells
again,
us
eh,
what to do.
Fordham?
Yeah.
No, look around. Try to use the interface.
I'm trying. I've done the flower display.
Hmm.
I've done the flower display. I've done the hanging plants. I've done the doorway. I did the shelf. There's nothing. What was that?
I think you actually said the answer earlier.
Dang it, I do that all the time and then I forget what I just said. What did I say? How did you open that? Did
Does
you do
the
that,
smell
Daniel?
of flowers put you in a
clicked
trance
I
or
right-clicked.
something?
I wanted to see what the red click does.
Right clicked on what? Just in general?
Yeah.
I think okay.
So the thing is that you always do this. You suggest something, and then that's the only thing you.
I already
skip.
forgot what I suggested. I suggested leaving the room. That was my only suggestion.
What would you
Something-
do if it wasn't an adventure game and it made sense?
Yeah, go up those stairs.
Why? You walk into a store and walk up the stairs where you
I
weren't
can't do
supposed to
that. I
go?
gotta find a guy that will introduce me. Or
Yeah,
so I
you gotta find the guy.
Yeah.
You
Current
have a
case.
How
to-do
would you do
list
that?
on the right.
I'm looking. Speak to the owner of the handbook flower shop.
How would
Gotcha.
you do that?
Handbook
You
flower
s-
shop has
I
been burglarized.
I swear you said it.
Oh,
Yeah, you
there's a
said it.
bell. There's the bell. There's the bell. I didn't see it.
He's-
Be right there.
Oh, someone just
Hello,
called.
gentlemen.
Oh,
I must say
that
you
hurts
caught me by
then,
surprise.
so
I
it's
was preparing to close. soon.
Boomer brain.
May I help you find anything?
I am
The
this
flowers
close
in
to
the
Gen
center
X.
display are half price this week, and I have a special on chrysanthemums today. Or perhaps a custom bouquet for the special ladies in your lives?
I have no need myself, but maybe Adelaide would appreciate a little something. Eh, Miles? Those peonies in the corner look nice.
I'm afraid we're not here as customers tonight, ma'am. We'd like to have a word with the proprietor. Is he in?
I see. I'm Cecilia Handbook, and this is my shop. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm Detective Miles Fordham, and this is my partner, William Legere. We received a report of a burglary at your store.
A report? From whom? I never contacted the police before, and I didn't this time either.
It was made anonymously. But are you saying this isn't the first time it's happened?
Correct. It's happened 3 times. But considering the police hardly care about the daily muggings and vandalisms around here, I didn't think they would be interested in something so trivial.
Well, we're here now, and we'll do all we can to help you.
We'll have to see about that.
If you wouldn't mind, Mrs. Handbrook, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Very well, Detective.
All right. You know, I
That's
like
very
the.
Gabriel 90.
It really is. Yeah. I like the dialogue. I like that it's pretty snappy. I mean, when I think right now, I'm comparing it a little bit to Techno Babylon, and that was a very, very chatty game, but I feel like I was waiting for it to be over because it just went on, and maybe it just, and this one just feels like it has a nice clip to it. So that's my initial thought here. And all right. Let's talk about the burglary.
Could you give me the details concerning the burglaries?
About 3 weeks ago on Monday, I noticed that my order of Easter lilies was missing. At first, I thought nothing of it.
This is the part I'm
Sometimes
supposed to
certain
pay
types of
attention to,
flowers
right?
are unavailable or arrive in poor condition. These things happen. Then 2
This
weeks
is where I
ago on
normally start looking
Wednesday,
at
it
the
happened
chat,
again.
and then I don't
But
pay
this
attention
time,
to
I noticed something
what the
rather
game wants me to do.
odd.
Go on.
When I opened the shop, there were 6 crowns and 10 shillings on the counter. That's exactly the cost of 2 orders of lilies. Last Friday, it happened.
Are we gonna
yet
have to do
again.
math?
The lilies were missing, and there was payment for 1 order on the counter. I
I'm afraid
believe
of
that
basic
someone
algebra.
has been breaking into my shop after hours, taking the lilies, and leaving money behind.
Remedial algebra.
How unusual.
Casebook update. Clue added. How do I get to the clue? Do I do a right? No, I got
Probably
to.
right click.
Well, I don't think I can right click in here. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can do it later, but I bet you I can.
Yeah.
Suspicious people.
Have
I
you
love the
noticed
fact that
any
they're
suspicious
blinking.
characters lurking around?
Detective Fordham, this is Chumley. You can't throw a stone without hitting a suspicious character. And if you've noticed my window, you'd be aware that stones get thrown around quite a bit in this neighborhood. If you're looking for trouble, you're far more likely to find it out there than in here.
I meant if you'd seen anyone out of the ordinary near your shop.
Only the 2
Do you
men
know
from the
where
police who
this
entered it tonight.
game was
That is
developed?
most
Like, is this
definitely out of the
whereabouts
ordinary.
was this? What's the name of the guy who did it again?
Francisco Gonzalez.
Francisco. Where is he located, or where was he
He's
located?
originally from Miami, but he lived in New York and still does. And
Okay.
that's where he worked on this, yeah.
Gotcha.
Have you found any evidence of a break-in?
No, the front door is always locked. My assistant Trevor and I are the only ones with the
Stop
key.
expecting
Are there
everyone
any
to
Well,
be
then
from
Trevor did
Seattle.
access to the building?
I think
The
we solved the
upstairs
case.
windows,
It's
I
Trevor.
suppose, but
Everybody
I
who's
made
important
sure
lives
to
in
keep
Seattle.
them locked, and neither of them have been broken.
Agreed.
Would you allow us to have a look
Or
upstairs?
at least 2 of us.
Is that really necessary? I was just about to close up the shop.
It won't take but a moment.
Fine, I suppose you may, but please, don't dally too long.
Yes, we get to go upstairs. Casebook added. Payment assistant. Gotta keep asking questions, right? All right.
So this burglar has been paying for the stolen goods?
That would appear to be the case, yes. I really don't think this could even be considered a crime. That's one of the reasons I didn't bother reporting it to the police.
And the other reasons?
Oh, I think I've already made those quite clear, Detective.
Did she? Did she? Did you
You
really?
mentioned your assistant has the other shop key. What can you tell me about him?
His name is Trevor
Trevor.
Hastings, and he has been working for me
Boom,
for
I
the past
remember.
10 years.
Do you trust him?
Implicitly. I've known him for ages, and he
Do
has
we
been my
trust him,
full-time assistant
Daniel?
since shortly
I don't
after
trust
my
anyone.
husband died.
I don't
You're
trust
not
Trevor.
suggesting he had
I don't trust
anything
you.
to do with this, are you?
Not at all. I would like to
Can't
speak
trust
with him,
anybody
though.
named
Where
Trevor.
might I find him?
It's Friday, so he should be on his way back from the docks right now. He'll be bringing my flower order within the hour.
Good. We'll meet him here then. If that's all right with you.
I suppose
we're not
I
going
don't really
anywhere
have much of
anytime
a
soon.
choice, do I?
Oh, more stuff added. Well, tell me about
Have you been in
yourself
business
there.
Yes, I
Flower
opened
lady?
this shop 30 years ago, along with my late husband, David. But the past 10 years, I've been running things on my own.
Don't you feel unsafe being here by yourself so late into the night?
Detective, when you've lived in this part of town as long as I have, it takes quite a lot to scare you.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
Let's go upstairs. We got the okay.
Ooh.
Interesting choice of decor in here.
Perhaps it wasn't always used as a storeroom, although I can understand why it would have been converted.
Yeah, it is rather drafty in here.
I was kidding around about the Trevor thing. Of course, Trevor is the one person you trust in Phantas 2. That's why I said never trust him. Boy, I'm not doing good today. She told us not to pick things up, so let's pick things up. Let's go. Let's look at these dudes.
A rather distinguished-looking gentleman.
Reminds me of Captain
You notice it's
Sneller.
always the same
if he
clop,
ever
clop,
smiled.
clop of it's always 1, 2, 3 when he's walking wherever. What else? More?
A young lady. Perhaps a relation of Mrs. Hanbrook?
I can see the resemblance. Sort of.
Okay. What do we got here?
I've seen this type of device before. It's a special container for growing plants. Specific temperature and water conditions can be
Francisco
adjusted.
is saying you should
Seems to
ring
be
the
empty
bell
right
more.
now, though. And judging by the dust, it hasn't been used in a long time, if ever.
It seems Mrs. Hanbrook isn't too fond of steam tech. Or just doesn't
Francisco's telling.
understand
Is
it.
Francisco in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're here? That's awesome. I'll okay. Should I go back down and ring the bell? Dude, now I'm a little nervous. I can't.
Don't
shouldn't
trust
be.
anyone named
You should have been
Francisco.
more nervous than I was when we played King's Quest 1 and I talked trash about the game.
Unmarked.
And then
Oh,
Ken
yeah, you were-
Williams showed
Smells
up in
anything
to
the
go by. This is
chat.
where the
yeah,
flowers
that
are
was
stored and
bad.
delivered.
That was
I'll
a
keep my
little
distance
surprisingly
then.
bad. You were vehement about it, and I don't think he heard you, which was lucky. But
Unmarked. But if the smell is anything to go by, this is where the flowers are stored when delivered.
I'll keep my distance then.
all right. Since I'm here, I might as well
Imagine that
click on
keeping a
stuff, and then we'll go
consistent
down
temperature in
and
here
ring the
is
bell some
important for
more.
the flowers.
When do you suppose this contraption was last serviced?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the dust buildup is any indication.
You know, but
Alright.
Bevin was right. The sound is very it's very good in this game. You know, they sound as if they're in that room.
Seems to be the
Unlike
broken pot
Phantasmagoria 1
storage
where
area.
they
Why
all
not just
sound
throw them
where
away,
that they're
I
in the
It's
Blue
likely they're
Screen
going to be
Studio.
repaired. I noticed
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I clicked on something while you were yapping. What else?
yapping.
When you were lucidly explaining your brilliant ideas and
When I was presenting interesting trivia to our
Yeah.
dedicated viewers.
our
Thinking
dedicated
about
viewers.
life's great mysteries again, are
Looks
you?
like we lost a bunch of people.
Yep.
All right.
Went down to
All right,
zero.
let's go down and let's go ring a bell. Let's go downstairs and ring a bell. I should also like do a little. Well, why would I ring a bell? She's already there. Let's do it.
Yes, I'm right here.
Good. Let's do it again.
There's really no need to ring that bell when I'm standing here.
Oh, good. Let's get her mad. Let's get her upset. One more time.
It was funny the first time, Detective, but now it's starting to wear thin.
Do it again. It would be
Detective,
great if she just slapped him.
please.
When does the loop end?
Ah!
You've had your fun, Fordham. Best to knock it off and get back to business.
All right, that's a good idea. But let's just do it one more time before I
tempting,
do.
but I think I should focus on more
Oh.
important matters.
Good times. All right. Was there more stuff to do up there? We looked at. Let's look at our stuff here. Okay. We have to wait for Trevor Hastings and speak to him. There's other stuff. What's this?
That's the
that.
first bit, yeah.
Clues. We have missing
Oh.
lilies and points of entry. Can I click on anything? Oh, there we go. 3 orders of Easter lilies have been taken, but money has been left for them. Why would the burglar bother to leave money behind? It's funny. My son and his buddy went to the movies last week, and there's a 7-Eleven across the street from that movie. There's the Crest. Have you ever been to the Crest, Bevan? You know the Crest Theater up in up North Seattle? It's a great
no.
little.
Okay.
It's a great little movie house. It's been around forever, and it shows second-run movies for like $6, and it's great. But there's a 7-Eleven across the street. He and his buddy were there, and there was no one in the shop. And a guy came in and was about to buy like a drink or something, and he left money on the counter and left. And so a lot like this burglar. Maybe he was a burglar. According to the owner, the only points of entry to the shop are the front door and the upstairs windows, both of which she keeps locked. Only she and her assistant have the key. All right, there's that.
We should check out that
Suspects.
window, maybe.
We don't have any suspects yet, but I'm suspecting Trevor for sure. I'm actually suspecting I suspect everyone. I suspect my partner. All right, so nothing. Okay, let's close this. And I have the seeking suspicion I should check out the window.
Yeah, that's a really good idea you just had.
Yeah, I'm thinking I should do that, but that window, that's hanging plants. No, stop, come back. Don't.
I'd probably bang my head against them constantly
window
if I had them in
upstairs?
my apartment.
All right, let's do that. Can I double click to get through? There we go. It's the biggest thing in the whole room, and I didn't.
Of entry.
It's a nice view, though. You can hardly see the vomit and manure
I
piles
do
on the street
suspect
from up
myself.
here.
All right, now what can I see? What else? Is there more?
I don't think this window would serve as a viable means of entry.
It's a nice view, though. You can hardly see the vomit and manure piles on the street from up here.
There's another window.
Another window.
I did that all by myself. I didn't even need your guys' help.
Wow.
The window latch, securely locked.
You don't have to tell me 4 times. It's locked.
We're speedrunning this game at this point.
No, I'm just prepping for my speed run. This is just early. Fire escape latch is locked. We need a key. All right, we have our first need for a key. Oh, it's always great when we find a key in a video game, isn't it? So that's our next
Have
thing.
you looked at everything on this screen?
Yeah, it
On
doesn't
this
look like the
screen?
latch needs a key. Looks like a latch that you could.
The window latch, securely locked.
It's securely
Look at
locked.
the whole window. There might be more clues.
There's a
in the
gap. I'm going to try the gap
Interesting.
right here.
There's a gap between the window and the frame here. No wonder it's so drafty in this room.
So I think they can pick the lock from the
wonder.
gap.
What are you thinking,
just-
Fordham?
Then it's
Back up.
time for an
I'm-
experiment.
Fordham and I are
I'm going to
thinking.
need a tool, however. Something long and thin should do the trick.
Shouldn't be too hard to find something like that around here.
I'll bet you there's something around here. We have an objective. Our casebook is updated. So I think I have to go look for something in the room that's long and thin. Can we open a crate? I forgot about the crates. What did it say?
Unmarked, but if the smell is anything to go by, this is where the flowers are stored when delivered.
I'll keep my distance
don't-
then.
All right, so we got to find a something. Heater. Daniel, do you know where the thing is that we're supposed to grab?
No, I'm hypnotized by the specks of dust that are near the window. They're amazing.
Where would you go at this point?
It's a little
Downstairs.
bit taking in, but we
Back
really
downstairs.
should
We're
be
going to
getting
find a thing downstairs to get. I always forget about these games. You have to go from one room or one place and then go get it. And then hotspot icons will change when new interactions are available. Thank you, game. Thank you, Francisco, for telling us these things. All right. So they'll change. What does that mean? They'll change.
It's like he made this game specifically for you.
And I still suck at it. All right.
Yeah, like when you have a new objective, you start
Miles,
focusing
are
in
you
on different
okay?
things. So things will become hotspots that weren't interesting.
Oh,
to
I
you
see.
before.
I see.
I'm sure that if it will still be in this room in an hour from now, he'll just address you directly. Paul, do this and that.
that would be so great. That should be that. I'm sure that that's available in games these days, right? Because
Yep.
I would so love a game. Like right now, he's saying
Sometimes
Miles.
I
It would
wonder
be great
why
if he started-
I'm not the lead detective on these cases.
Me too. Okay, well you do it then. All right, where do I go? Someone says, Daniel, tell
You're
me.
looking for something. What are you looking for again?
A long, thin thing to open up the window latch.
Yeah, do you see anything like that?
Yeah,
I
like I see a bunch of things like that.
don't. The hanging plants. Let's try those.
Aha! This hook is exactly what I need. Mrs.
Boom.
Hanbrook, may I borrow this hook for a few minutes? It's crucial to our investigation.
Is that so?
Yes, I promise. I'll put it back.
Or
as
why
soon
don't
as
we
I'm
just
done.
ask her
Please
if we
do,
can
detective.
open it? Ask her for a screwdriver or something. Boom. Oh, that bell that makes you feel good, doesn't it? They must have. How many bells did you use, Francisco, before you decided on that one? And speaking of bells, let's go.
Yeah,
Tempting,
but
but
the
I
thing
think
is
I should
that
focus on more important
Things
matters.
shouldn't be straightforward in games, in adventure games. She shouldn't have a screwdriver. You need to find something
Okay.
that works like a screwdriver.
I would say that you should never ever have limited your options of ringing the bell. I think you should have been able to ring the bell limitless times. That in the future, limitless is the way to go. All right, let's see. Now, how do I actually utilize a thing? Let's see. What do I do here?
The window latch. Securely
Okay, I got
locked.
that. So I need to get my. Do I have? Where's my inventory? Do I have inventory? I'm sure I do. I just picked it up, but where is it? Okay, so it's not this. Where is my inventory? Daniel, where? How would I find my inventory?
There,
Oh.
I'm sure you'll find it. Francisco is saying in the chat that the objective thing was my composer's idea. It's a triangle. So it's
Why am I
very
not
similar
seeing
to-
this? Oh, I got it. Yeah. It was my composer's idea. Oh, nice. All right, good.
And it's very similar to Sierra games, like King's Quest, where you have a little theme whenever you get points. Okay, inventory. I don't know. Place the cursor on the top part of the screen.
Oh, there we go. Casebook. I got that.
Maybe. I don't know.
Settings.
Right click. Left click.
Right click. How about down here? Bevin, where's the inventory?
I'd help you, but I don't. I seriously
Oh,
don't
great.
remember.
Thanks a lot. What?
Sorry.
Maybe I have to get out of here and then I can do it. Is it right click? Have I right? Francisco, where's our inventory?
Francisco says there's no inventory.
There's no inventory.
Okay, that's
Well,
why.
how do I use the thing? I gotta get.
Maybe
I
you should
got,
just click it.
I
Click the
did.
thing.
I
No,
clicked
click
it.
the
Click
gap.
the other thing.
Click the gap.
Oh, the gap.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Bill, it's time for our experiment.
And what is this experiment going to be exactly?
Simple. I'm going to see if this hook can
I
get
was
me
up
inside
late
the
last
shop.
night.
Yeah.
I had a couple.
Rather
If
dark
that
out
was the
here.
case, then you were
Watch
up
your step, then.
late
This
last night.
experiment
in
of yours
every
isn't worth a
one of
broken
our live
neck.
streams.
I'll be fine. Now then, could you please close and lock the window, Bill?
I think the reason, I mean, we've been getting more people joining our streams, and I think there's something about watching a young boomer flail at games that you all played when you were kids that gives you a great deal of satisfaction. I don't quite get it. Oh, I see. Now I got it. Oh, this is fun. I think.
Yeah, I played this game when I was like a young child of about 42.
Oh, the old days. Back when everything was so
Yeah.
instant.
Way back then.
Okay, so what do I do here? I gotta go like that. There we go. Yeah, baby. That was the most fun part of this game. I loved every second of
Well,
that
I'd say
moment.
this is fairly incontrovertible proof that the building can easily be broken into without arousing suspicion.
Where'd you learn how to do that anyway?
You taught me, remember?
Nah. Are you sure it was me?
Positive. We were a few pints in at the Angel about 5 years ago, and you decided I should learn how to pick locks.
What else have I taught you how to do while drunk?
That would be telling.
Oh, we
So,
got some
even
casebook
though
updates.
Francisco simplified the UI by having no inventory, you still got stuck.
I
By
would imagine
not
that
knowing
keeping
what-
a consistent temperature in here is
Why do
important
you
for
need
the
to point
flowers.
that out to
Where do you
everybody
suppose
that's
this
been watching
contraption
and
was
already
last
knew that
serviced?
without you
I'm
I'm like
Definitely
the
not
little
recently, if
tips
the dust buildup
at
is
the
any
bottom of the
indication.
screen. I'm telling everyone the obvious things.
Oh, okay. Hey, for anybody who just joined us, I'm a doofus who doesn't know how to play video games. Just want to make sure you all know. Okay. Is there anything else in here? So we have learned that. Here's what I will say. I loved picking the latch and
Come on,
getting.
Miles, don't
but
just stand
what-
there,
oh,
do
don't
something.
talk to me that way. What's my partner's name again? What's this guy's name? Bill. Bill, back off. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. I would just say that we, just by seeing that there was a gap in the window, all we've learned so far is that someone really could come in here. But I think we learned that just by seeing the gap in the window. All right. Now what? Oh, boo! Where's
Trevor.
Trevor?
Evening, Cecilia. I've got the order ready to bring in.
Trevor, these are Detectives Fordham and Leger.
You're
They
under
say
arrest.
There's been a report about the burglaries, and they're here
Case solved.
investigating.
This is Bill.
I only did it because I think it's been going on too long. As much as you want to, we can't handle this ourselves.
We can discuss the matter later. In the meantime,
How'd
the
you find
detective
your
would
actors,
like a word
Francisco?
with you.
Was
I'll
it
be
an
needing to bring
audition?
in the
Did you
flowers
have?
first, if that's all right. Otherwise,
Are
some
you-
hooligan's likely to run off with them.
My partner will keep an eye on
Any
your
good
flowers.
with a group of actors
would
that
you
you
mind?
like to work with? What's
The
the story?
glamour of police work.
Oh, we've
Now,
we're
Mr.
broken up.
Hastings, if I could ask you a few questions.
Go
Good.
on,
Bill
then.
was driving me crazy. Bill was like Daniel. He's like always harassing.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're like they're like Sherlock and Watson, and which is kind of like what you and I are. You know, I'm the one who knows everything, and you have to kind of tag along. It's a kind of the perfect. Perfect. All right, burglars.
What can you tell me
I'm
about the
here as
recent
someone you can
burglaries?
bounce
I wish
ideas off.
Cecilia had contacted you a lot sooner. She's a damn fine woman. But sometimes I think she'd rather jump in a rose bush than ask for help. Had to take matters into my own hands. This needs taken care of, and we can't do it on our own. As much as Cecilia would like
Casting
to.
director
Anyhow,
auditions. Nice.
All's
That
I
must have been
know
fun. Did you
is someone's
enjoy
been making off with
the
some
different?
flowers and leaving money
It's always
behind.
fun hearing people
No idea who it
bring
could
life
be,
to your
how they're
words,
getting in,
and
or why they even bother paying.
someone
In my day, if you
takes it
robbed
to
a
another
place,
level,
you
it's really,
did it
really
the
cool.
right way. It's a sad state of affairs when even burglars don't do their jobs correctly.
Do you have much experience with burglary, Mr. Hastings?
Now, I never said that, detective.
Have you noticed anyone or anything suspicious around here recently?
Nothing but the usual roughnecks, ragamuffins, and drunkards. Like I said, it's a real mystery.
Okay, so another question about the voice acting. This is 2018, and at this point, 2018, people were really using their own studios, their home studios, rather than going into a place to all together. I'm curious if these actors were all delivering their voice work through their home studios, or if they were working on.
Probably. I think that the voice acting has been exponentially better in the past couple of years, because when you hold auditions, you don't need to audition people that are in your radius. You can audition people from around the world and actually get a variety of voices that actually fit the characters, as opposed to use the voices of the people around you.
And actors have had to invest in home studios as opposed to like going to like rent a studio and stand in a booth and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, my friend Jen Taylor, the voice of Cortana, has had to do that and has a really nice little setup at her house now. But back in the day when they were first starting out, it was crazy, all the things that they would do to create the right atmosphere so that they could get their their voices recorded properly at
Francisco saying that they all recorded.
Could
in
you
the same
walk me
studio.
through the process of your
Oh, wow.
deliveries?
Sweet.
Of course, there's no great science to it. On
Excellent.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons, Cecilia gives me her list of flowers to pick up from the wholesalers. I head over to Gascone around sunset when they get their shipment, and I give them her order. They load up the crate, I pay for it, and then I lug it back here.
How long does that take?
Between moving the crate and getting it across the river on the ferry, a couple of hours. Usually the store's closed by then, so I use my key to get in and leave the crate inside for Cecilia to open in the morning. That's all there is to it. Told you it wasn't very complicated.
Do you ever leave the crate unattended during that time?
No, sir. Never more than a minute. I may be old, but I got good eyes. I'd see if there were anything amiss. Besides
know
that,
if I,
I check to make sure the crate is still sealed when I drop it off.
I don't know if I
I'm not
suspect
about to
Trevor
let
anymore.
Cecilia down by being careless.
Oh, another objective added. Hey, Bevin, what I forget, because I don't listen to anybody when I'm streaming because I'm too busy looking at everything. What is it? Do you and Francisco, did you guys work together? What was your no?
Like I first, encountered him in the AGS forums, as I mentioned before, like just hanging out there. And he's basically streamed his dev process for a really long time.
Oh,
And
sweet.
so he'll just stream him working and he'll talk about what he's doing and stuff. And I have tuned into those as often as I could, which wasn't all that often. But yeah, for
That's great.
years, I've just kind of been, sort of watching him work. And yeah, he also used to have a podcast where he talked about AGS development. So,
Gotcha,
and I
yeah.
always listened to that.
And
So
we
I just,
played, when we
picked
played
it up.
Dropsy a couple weeks ago, or I guess it was last week, I don't know, but same thing when Voidberger was telling us that developer was actually the idea came about during some sort of a live stream, and he was sort of coming up, getting ideas, and all the ideas sort of ended up making it into the game itself. So that's really neat. All right,
How long
tell
have
us
you been
about
working
yourself,
for Mrs. Hanbrook?
Been about 10 years now, I reckon. I used to help with deliveries now and then when it was her and David, her husband. But after he passed, she offered to make me her assistant. Unfortunate way to get it, but I needed the work.
I know, I got to get that voice
I had a
real
job
back
at
out
one
there.
of the airship yards.
I could do
But
some
they
of
let
this.
me go after I was injured by one of those newfangled steam machines.
I'm
So
just too
the offer
expensive
came
for
at a
most of
good
these
time.
guys.
Besides that, Cecilia needed looking after, even though she'd never admit it. If I'm being honest, we're both getting a bit long in the tooth. Not sure how much longer we'll be keeping this up, but as long as I'm upright and breathing, I'll be bringing these crates along. Even if it is murder on my back.
I admire your
Murder.
work ethic.
I've got a job to do. Not enough people these days seem to respect that.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Hastings. I'll let you get back to work.
So, Francisco,
Appreciate it,
you should
Detective.
cast Paul in
If you don't
Rosewater.
mind, Detective, I still need
Absolutely.
to check the crate
The
before I
main
bring
guy.
it in.
If there isn't a
Of
main
course.
guy, you got to
Thank
make
you again
one
for
and
your
then
help.
give it to me, and then you got to cater it to my voice and my skills. Oh no, Bill's back.
Learn
He's
anything?
gonna give me shit.
Possibly. I may have an idea.
Ah, you're being cryptic. That's always a good sign. But if you've got a
No.
plan, let's talk about it.
Can we leave this? My plan is to leave the flower shop. I feel like there's more outside this world than. All right, I'm gonna look in my.
No, it's just this whole game.
We never leave the entire game. We're gonna be in the flower shop. All right. Ask Bill about surveillance. Perform experiment. We did that. Can't we there should be like a strike through stuff we've done. We got him to come back. We talked to him. We got to ask about surveillance. What else do I need? Experiment results. Don't know. My experiment with the hook proves that it's possible to unlock the window. This is most probably the way. Yep, gotcha. According to the owner, the only points of entry of the shop are the windows. Okay. 3 orders of illies. Okay, gotcha. All right, what next? Anything else? Do I have any? No documents. And no suspects. I suspect Bill. Okay, let's ask Bill about surveillance. How do I ask? Oh, there we go. We got ourselves talking.
Got a minute, Bill?
For you, Miles, I've got 5.
Oh boy. Okay. Where were you on the night of?
I've heard of honor among thieves, but have you ever known a thief to pay for stolen goods?
Perhaps conducting normal business is just too boring for him. Do you think he might be doing it for the thrill?
There could be any number of reasons. The best way to find out is to catch the culprit and ask him ourselves.
Francisco is saying that the completed objectives should disappear once completed, but probably because we're using ScumVM, it's a bug. And that's something that usually happens on our streams. We find bugs that rarely happen, but only happen on our streams.
Well, it's because it's Daniel's fault. It's all his fault. Don't blame yourself, Francisco.
I'm like a
Daniel
bug
screwed it up.
magnet.
So now, if I were playing the detective, I'd say, "Tell me about Colmondole." But listen to the way he's going to say it.
You ever miss living out here, Bill?
About as
Oh,
much as you
it's-
missed stepping in that pile of horseshit last week.
I was distracted by that story you were telling me about your sister. How's she doing out west, anyway?
Say the
Well,
word.
she's not in the chum, so fantastic. Living here was about as fun as wearing a vest made of meat to a dogfight. I'm glad we both managed to get out. Oh, and by the way, Miles, you didn't do such a great job of cleaning your shoes.
That would explain all the funny looks I've been getting.
They do a good job, these two.
Still feeling rough, Bill?
Yes, but I'll feel better once this case is finished and we can go down to the Angel for a pint or 4.
Hair of the dog?
No better medicine.
We got ourselves a alcoholic partner here. I see. Okay, himself again. More himself.
When's the last time you took any time off?
That's a good question. What year is this again?
I think we've both been working a bit too much lately. Addie's been wanting to go visit her mother in Dixie. Maybe we can all go.
Well, sounds nice, but I wouldn't want to be a third wheel on a visit to your in-laws. Unless... Would Adelaide's brother be there by any chance?
You're incorrigible, Bill.
It's one of my finer qualities.
More himself. Boy, it's a lot of
Got any
Bill
opinions on the upcoming election?
I'll just be glad when it's all over. It seems like the last few months have been nothing but people giving opinions and telling me what to do without a moment's peace.
I know what you mean. I already saw some kids putting up Atwood posters down my street.
I already drew mustaches in all the ones on my street.
Handlebar?
Yeah, you know me too well.
I always thought of Atwood as more of a Van Dyke type of man myself.
I can see that. Yeah. Well, there's something to do tomorrow.
Since Francisco's from New York, and you have
What's your impression
New York
of dear
voice.
old Mrs. Handbrook?
My
I like
New York
her.
voice.
Good
My New
old-fashioned,
York
tough
voice.
as nails chumley woman. Reminds me of my mother.
Your mother was never quite so stubborn.
Who's
Why do you
paying
suppose she's
attention to
so
all this stuff?
reluctant to
Anybody?
accept our help?
It's a chum thing, Miles. You wouldn't
Somebody should be taking
understand.
notes.
The game is taking notes.
Any thoughts on Mrs. Handbrook's
a good
assistant,
point.
Trevor?
Yes. I feel sorry for him.
Why? He seems to enjoy his work.
No, it's not that. He's obviously smitten with Mrs. Handbrook, but she won't give him the time of day.
What? You only saw him for a few moments. How in the ether did you get that impression?
The way he looked at her, the way he spoke when he confessed to contacting the police. Shall I go on?
No, that's fine. I see what you mean.
Really, Miles? You'd be surprised what you can learn from people if you just look at them.
Why bother doing that when I've got you to do it for me?
Interface says that Paul check out how Markiplier did some skits as Darkiplier. Markiplier he's a funny guy. He's really good. I love his those choose your own adventure videos he created. Counterpart, if you could bring Curtis back out for some skits, people would freak out. You know, we did some of that stuff and it was really fun and it's hard. It's a lot of work and you know, a lot of it's already on our website.
Bevin, are you okay?
Yes.
What? Yeah. Okay. Everything good? Yeah, I'd love to do more stuff like that, but it's a lot of work, and I don't know if I have the time, and I don't know if people would really freak out.
Right. Based on
Do it
what we've
for
been
us.
told in our experiment, I can only conclude that our burglar is using the upstairs window to get into the shop.
So what do you propose we do about it?
It's happened repeatedly over the past 3 weeks, on one of the delivery nights. Since it has yet to occur this week, and today is Friday, logic dictates it should be tonight.
So we settle in and wait to see if the burglar returns?
We have to
Catch him
settle
in the
in.
act?
Exactly.
You can't leave the
It's our
flower
best
shop.
chance of solving this
Never
before
leaving
the
the
trail goes
flower
cold.
shop at this rate.
And I was really looking forward to getting that drink at the Angel tonight, too.
I know, but it's as
Okay,
you
how
said
do I
yourself,
do this faster?
there'll
You
be
guys are
plenty of
faster.
other
Yeah, let's do
opportunities.
this faster. We're never
Besides,
gonna get to my
forbearance is
part yet.
Spoken
Yeah,
like
can I
someone.
scoop
I'm
it?
sure
I'm
I'll get
giving
the hang of
the
it one of these
controls to
days.
Bevin.
Okay, let's go
All right.
have
I
a
don't-
chat with Mrs. Hambrook.
That's not gonna make
I'm
things
sure she'll
faster.
be delighted to know we're spending the night.
So we're
Damn. Forgot to bring my deck
we're
of cards.
hiding
again.
behind the
At
crates.
least it's quiet up here. I'm surprised we didn't go deaf after the last time we
There.
did this.
How about
What?
there?
I said, oh, right. Your sense of humor remains on point.
Miles,
So can I
have you ever
skip past
considered
some
leaving all
stuff
this
so we can
behind?
move forward?
What, you mean quitting
No,
the
this
force?
part's important.
The force, the city, going off and seeing what else is out there, you know?
I'd miss it too much. Wouldn't you?
I was thinking I might visit Harley out west. She makes it sound like a dream in her letters. Wide open spaces, fresh air. I know I'm a city boy and would probably miss New Britannia's filth and squalor after a week, but...
You should do it. A change of scenery never hurt anyone. Plus, it's much easier for you than it is for me. I've got a family to consider, after all.
Ah, right.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that, Bill. It's just...
Shh. I think I heard something.
Something's coming. All right, here we go. Action. Oh, nice.
Oh, no.
Bill?
Stop!
Right.
Police! Damn it! He's got up the fire escape. We can corner him on
Let's
the
go.
roof.
Come on. Do we
Stay
have
close
do
and
we
keep
have
me
an
covered.
adventure? We get to get out. Yes.
Do his hat off.
A new place. Awesome.
Bill!
Stay back, officer. Got a knife.
Ready your pistol for him.
But you're too close.
I trust you, Miles. Your pistol, now!
Oh, dang.
There's
Okay.
really no need for this, officer. I respect your desire to uphold justice. Mine is more important. If you let me go, I won't come back. And we can all forget this ever happened.
Don't listen to this lunatic, Miles. Take your shot before things get worse.
Oh boy. Oh, I don't know what to do. What would you do?
Pick one.
No,
I'm
you should
gonna
pick
read
one.
it.
You're in control, Bevin.
Oh, Bevin's in control now.
No!
Oh. You just killed your buddy.
Bill! Oh, God!
Okay.
Seriously?
I am so
Bevin.
sorry, my friend. I am so sorry.
Well, game over. Let's start 3 months
Yep.
later.
It's
I think
it's
he would have died
Techno-Babylon
either
all
way. I
over
think if
again.
we
Yes.
reasoned with him, he was going to go down. You did your best.
You can't save him. You
You
can't save him. I
No.
picked that, and I picked that on both the times I've played
Miles, wake
because
up! Your house
it's what
is on
he asked
fire!
us to do.
Huh? What?
You see, I told you it was funnier when I did it to you.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Hilarious.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Overdid
going
it on the soporific.
We got a ghost. Is it?
Why do I feel like I've
What's
had this
happened?
conversation before?
I'm just glad you're in the mood to converse again. Seriously, you took so much of that snake oil last night, I was starting to think you wanted me quiet for good.
I do want you quiet for good, Bill.
So yeah, so remember how earlier this was you and Daniel? Do you hear Daniel talking in your head as you go about your daily life?
Constantly.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I installed speakers in his house. He doesn't know about them, and I keep talking into them.
Oh boy. All right. You're in control, Bevin.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let's get us through this game. Let's get us to your spot.
It's no personal slight. I just need some quiet time, or I'll go insane.
I get it. I know it's not easy, but there's really no need.
Not easy. Bill, I've been hearing your voice since you died. You don't shut up unless I take that accursed medicine. I'd say that qualifies as a bit more than not easy.
Yeah, well, how do you think I feel? You think I enjoy being trapped here, listening to you whine about how hard your life's become? You at least still have yours.
I bet if you click it faster, it'll hit
If
the
you're
bad
just as
guy.
miserable, why don't you just go away and leave me in peace?
Believe
I don't
me,
think
I
so.
wish I knew how. But the bottom fact is, you're stuck
The
with
bottom
me.
fact.
So you can either keep living this way and ruin your life even more than you already have, or you can do as I've told you and try to figure out a way to let me move on.
I like that it's just a
I've dealt with you
voice
for the
and that
past
we don't
3
see
months.
like a specter
Keep doing it.
walking around. I think that's
and with
good.
the way you've been going, you'll end up like me sooner rather than later.
I'm sure that was
Blackwell.
So
probably
then it's
one
back
of
to
the
your
options
oh-so-clever
and
plan
discussions.
of tracking down the burglar from the flower shop?
Yes, exactly.
I still
Let's
don't
go
get how
back to
that's
the
going to
flower
help.
shop.
I can understand your confusion, considering it was you who killed me. But the point remains. You wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place if not for him. Once the criminal has been caught and is in custody, we'll both get what we want.
All right, good enough.
Justice?
More than that, you'll have that elusive thing you always wanted to give others. Closure.
You do realize the trail's pretty much frozen at this point. Our man has seemingly vanished into the ether.
That's no excuse not to keep trying. I know the cases Upton's been giving you these past few months haven't been the most thrilling, but they've at least kept you active. So just keep at it. Something has to turn up eventually. Unless, of course, you want to wind up in Riverview Asylum. And if that happens, I'm really not going to keep quiet.
Fine.
Good man. Now, I suggest you stop talking to thin air, or Adelaide's going to start wondering if you've gone mental. Or just maybe, she'll stop wondering.
Very funny.
Doorway. All right, let's maybe we get to meet Adelaide. By the way, since
Well, look who's awake.
Interlace mentioned
Ready to
this
rejoin
whole
the
thing,
living?
Very much
it
so.
dawned on me that we have a lot of new people that have joined us. If you've never gone to our website,
You were
Daniel
talking in your
has
sleep
created this
again.
Did I say
incredible
anything interesting?
Do you ever?
You have to admit,
Phantasmagoria 2
she's
world
got you there.
How are
that
you feeling?
combines
Such
what we're
groggy.
doing
I
and
think I took a
scenes
bit too
from
much of
the
the soporific last
actual
night.
game. And if
That's
you've never
what I
gone there,
thought.
it's interactive.
When you went for your
it's
after-lunch
super
nap,
fun,
you'd barely
and you
gotten
have to
breakfast
check it out.
down.
Just go to
I saved you some bread and cheese if you're hungry.
conversationscritic.com
Thank you,
and
but I
enjoy.
haven't got much of an appetite.
You really should regulate your doses more carefully, love. I'm sure dull senses and an empty stomach aren't much help to your work. By the way, a message arrived via courier for you this morning. I put it on
I
the
like that. I
table
like
along
the
with
room.
today's newspaper.
Thank you, dear.
No dust in this room.
Right. Yeah. Ordinarily, I'm like a click on everything in the room type of person, but we'll just sort of move on.
Okay. Got the new. Is that
1844, September 23rd. I wonder if it was a Monday.
second bizarre murder? Another murder. after the one Gascon Grand Dame dies, remembering the HMS Lugia. Okay, all right, we got stuff. Main thing I
Cool
think
stuff
is the
happening.
Now I have to look it up.
existence of
City.
ethericity, energetic and restorative properties. Dr. Bennett Clark. Are we going to meet Bennett Clark?
Where's
It
the-
was a
There's a message. There was a message there.
Yeah, I missed it.
There it is. Florida, a big case has come in which I think will interest you. Meet me at the Rovin Coffee House for more details. See Upton. So we didn't get fired or put on administrative leave for killing our partner? It's been 3
it's
months.
the 18
Upton says she's got
somethings.
No,
You're fine.
but then you know Upton.
Walk it off.
Always on a need-to-know basis, especially since she's been giving me these cases under the table.
To be fair, they haven't exactly been anything of note.
True, but she's still sticking her neck out
You
for
got
me.
the afternoon
I don't
off.
understand why she's so secretive
on
about
the
it.
day
I
off.
think she just misses having you around the station.
Poor Connie. With you quitting and me dying, she must be bored stiff at work.
Anyway, I'm supposed to meet her at the Ruined Coffee House. That can't be right.
It's not like Constance to make mistakes. She must have gotten in somehow.
Guess I'll head over there and see what she's got then.
Another document added. Excellent. Let's go to the coffee house.
Have a lovely day, Addie.
Goodbye, dear. Love you.
Love you too.
You too.
Were the animations
Nice.
done
Nice.
using
Nice.
rotoscoping?
Yes, he rotoscopes all of his animations, and it's a really
Yeah,
cool
they
effect.
look
Like,
super
it's got- I
realistic.
like the way it looks. I think he only just recently got a treadmill in which to make them a little bit easier. I don't know how he did it without them.
Okay, talk to me like a 5-year-old. What's rotoscoping?
They basically,
Yeah.
the Prince of Persia, or basically they take a video stream of actual someone walking on the treadmill or someone walking, and then drawing the animation over the video frames
Gotcha.
to make it more realistic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's another thing that you can look out for is, in addition to the dynamic music and other cool stuff, you can see like the animations, you can see the effect that the rotoscoping has on like creating really smooth, really realistic animations
Nice.
in the action scenes.
Ah, the Rouen Coffee House. Worst Java in Lamplight City, but there's no better place to overhear all the rumors and gossip in town. Just make sure you don't get too close to the other patrons. Discretion was never your forte.
Got a bunch of people
All
to check out
What
here.
about the flies
Yeah.
over there?
Yeah, we gotta do some eavesdropping, I think.
So you plan on going to the Lygia Vigil tonight?
Nah. I heard Harris is gonna be giving a speech. There's no way I could look that man in the face.
You know it's not his fault, right? I think he's getting an unfair reputation.
If he cared enough to make sure the airship was safe, it never would have crashed. He's as much at fault as anyone.
You really should go. Eliza would have wanted it, I think.
I know, you're right. I'll think about it.
Okay. Let's go eavesdrop on that guy's dreams.
How close can I get to him before he gets annoyed? No,
Come
not
back
that.
here.
Come back.
Oh, that's what I do. That made me happy.
All right.
I'm back.
Remember me? I'm just gonna stand here,
Just stand here
sort
and,
of.
and not awkwardly.
Trying to figure out the
Good
yeah,
to see you up and
where's a
about
good
again.
eavesdropping spot.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been easy. But it was either go back to work or spend all day in bed and starve.
Now, it was good of them to keep your spot open. Lots of places would have just put in someone else.
Well, it's the least they could have done. Been there for 20 years, after all. The boss takes care of his own, especially considering it was his machines that chewed up my arm.
That's nice to hear. More bosses should be like that.
The eavesdropping is very
Hard to believe
interesting
it's already been
because
3 months since the
if
big
you would have
crash.
wanted to eavesdrop in
I
real
was just
life,
thinking the
you
other
would have
day how much Lucy has grown up
stood
in such a
closer
short
to these
amount of
guys.
time.
But
Does
in
she
adventure
understand
games, you're
what
not
happened?
accustomed to
I think so.
walking
She's been
past
asking
people
questions
to
about her
eavesdrop.
mama lately,
You usually
but I
see
still haven't
lines of
told her the whole
dialogue
story.
from across the room.
You'll know when the time is right.
Did a lot of these voice actors,
So what do you think will
Francisco, play
happen
more
if
than one
this
role, or did
ethnicity
you
stuff
give
turns
what
out
did
to be
everybody?
real?
Honestly,
all
nothing. The rich will
visual
stay rich,
voices?
and the poor will stay poor.
That's a pretty dark way of seeing it. They're saying it'll improve everyone's lives.
They'd say that about eating rat poison if they thought it meant earning an extra crown.
Well, I prefer to think positive. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll have my hand back.
If you believe that, then I got a bridge in the chum to sell you.
Right.
Hey, folks, if anybody with, I don't even know if we've had, I don't want to have
If it isn't
one
my old-
stream where
Hello,
we didn't get
Fordham. It's
one.
good to see you.
How did you get them
sort
to
of
let you in here?
donation,
It's rather
to
simple,
the
really.
cause.
The owner
If
and
you're
I have
able
an
to give a
understanding.
little bit to
He
help
pretends
out,
women
that
are
would be
allowed in
really-
coffee houses, and I don't report his unsavory
Much
business
appreciated.
practices to Chief Snelling.
Sounds like a good deal. What sort of
The
unsavory
donation
business
is the friends
practices
we
are we
made
talking
along the
about?
way.
Oh, we haven't got
Exactly.
time to get into that now. But take some advice. Don't order anything.
So this is
that
his
isn't
boss.
That's his boss. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I got your message. What's going on?
It's time for you to join the big boys again, Fordham. Your days of finding lost cats are over.
So stop
All right,
teasing
put
me
them
and tell
back
me
on.
what it is already.
Do you know Madame Laura Dupre?
Where to pray? That name sounds
Can't say
familiar.
the name rings any bells.
I'm not surprised. She's one of the Gascon Grand Dames. Doesn't really run in our kind of social circles.
Ah, right.
Madame Dupre died the day before yesterday. Her funeral was held this morning.
My condolences.
But halfway through the service, the mourners heard a loud knocking coming from inside her coffin.
She wasn't dead?
Apparently not. Nearly
Whoa.
interred alive, although her doctor swears she
classic
had no
1800s.
pulse.
That
Her
happened
son
recently.
Andrew
I
was
read
quick to
about that.
suspect
Somebody
foul play.
forgot.
He accused a man named Albert Martin, and the police arrested him.
So where do I come in? Sounds like the case has already been solved.
I strongly
No.
suspect that Martin is innocent, especially considering the talk of him having used black magic on Dupre. The police feel they have enough evidence to convict, so they're not bothering to investigate any further. You're going to look into it and see if I'm right. Then find the person who was really behind this.
Madame Dupre recovered after the ordeal?
Has Madame Dupre recovered from her ordeal?
I'm afraid not. Apparently she's been catatonic since they pulled her out of the coffin.
How unfortunate.
If you'd like to question Mr. Martin, he's being held at the Bow Street Jail. Or you could take a look around his house. It's at 451 Compton Street in Worcester.
And the Dupre home?
That's at Emmeline and Comtesse, right across from the old Angeline convent. It's also possible you might run into the police during your investigation, since they're technically still on the case.
Thanks for the warning.
Was there anything you
Right.
wanted to talk about before you get started?
Oh, do we? Okay, we have
Yes.
some questions.
Do you want to ask questions?
Well, I don't know. I want to move on.
Yes, actually, I had a couple
well,
of
let's see.
questions.
Let's hear them then.
Let's see how many there are.
Ooh. We switched to the
Let's
close-up.
talk about Bill.
Yeah.
Don't suppose there have been any developments regarding
hair's
Bill's
grown out.
murder.
Unfortunately not. The department hasn't exactly been focusing on that
scruffy.
case as a priority. The general attitude is that it was an accident. Bill died an honorable death in the line of duty.
Would have been nice if they bothered saying that at the funeral.
And of course, there are still those who blame you for his death, Snelling being the first and foremost.
But the man who really caused Bill's death is still out there.
Yes, I know, but it looks like you're on your own if you want to find him. My hands are tied. I can only ask around so much before the higher-ups get suspicious. Just don't give up. New Britannia may be a big city, but the criminal world is surprisingly close-knit. If you find any connections or leads during your other cases, be sure and let me know. I'll do the same if I find anything out.
See, she has a priority straight. You could learn a lot from Upton.
Sorry,
That's
having
it, I
issues
think.
with my mouse.
Then you'd better get
No
back
worries.
to it.
Well, I'm not entirely
All right,
sure
maybe
how
you
this is
take
going to help
over
you
for a
find the
bit.
flower
Maybe you
shop
can,
burglar, but I suppose freeing an innocent man is a worthy diversion.
You want to take over, Paul?
I can, or else you can for a little bit.
We got new stuff on the map.
Let's let Bevin play. Wow! We got 4 new locations. No, 3 new locations. Jeez.
Who's
The flower shop.
Who's driving?
You're driving.
I think you're still driving.
I'm driving.
Devin.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, eventually we want to end up here. I'm just going to see how far we can get.
You
if
are
we go
aware this is
now.
private property, sir?
Yes, I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the incident involving Madame Dupre. I assume this is she?
You assume correctly, Mr. Fordham. My apologies, but I thought the police had already made an arrest.
That's right, but there's still some doubt as to the man's guilt. May I ask your name, sir?
I am Dr. Fellows, Madame Dupre's private physician. I'm afraid she is in no state to be answering questions at present.
Are any other members of the family home?
Her son, Mr. Montgomery, is in the entrance hall. I had to give him a mild sedative to settle his nerves, but he should be all right to converse.
Then if you don't mind, I'll have a look around.
Ooh. All right.
Man.
Go inside.
Oh, hello. Are you the new servant?
No, I'm Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into your mother's attempted murder.
How did you know I was her son? Oh, of course. You must have sensed it with your
I love the way
detective's
he's like
intuition. I should
lounging
have guessed
on
by
the...
that giant head of yours.
This is a really great artwork.
Are you feeling all right, Mr. Montgomery?
Yes, I'm fine. Much better than when those pesky police officers were snooping around earlier. But I like you, Mr. Fordham. I can already tell you're not like them at all. Please, call me Andrew.
Yes, well, I'll have a look around and I may need to ask you some questions. Do you think you can handle that?
I can. In fact, I really look forward to it.
If the good doctor gave him a mild sedative, I'd hate to see what the stuff you take would have done to him.
Socked him.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
That's a fun character.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
She came back from the dead. I couldn't believe it. My mother, resurrected, just like Jesus.
Yes. I heard you're the one who accused Mr. Martin of the crime.
Oh, no, I already talked to the police about that. I don't want to think about it right now.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
Oh, a little of this and a little of that. Nothing as exciting as what you do, I'm sure. Ooh, tell me, do most bad people start crying when you catch them? I'll bet it's a laugh riot to see them sobbing away.
No, Mr. Montgomery, most of them don't.
Well, that's a real shame, isn't it?
All right. Do we want to ask him about a parrot, or do we want to move on?
I usually ask people about parrots in my conversations with them.
All right.
In real life as well.
Yeah, just bring up.
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
I like looking at him. He has such pretty colors, doesn't he?
That he does.
You know, I've always wondered what he might taste like. Is that bad, do you think?
I really couldn't say, Mr. Montgomery. Thanks for your time.
No, thank you for yours.
This is ridiculous. He won't be of any use in this state. If it takes him as long to snap out of it as it takes you, we'll be waiting around here until noontime tomorrow. There has to be a way to bring him back to his senses. Maybe that quack outside knows something of use.
I just like that character a lot.
Yeah, he's great.
All right, let's snoop around.
Goodness, someone went overboard with the flowers. This brings back some memories, doesn't it?
Ones I'd rather forget.
This looks fun.
Oh, there we go. Okay, turn over the hourglass, and that's how much time we have to solve the case.
A gentle reminder that everyone's time is slowly running out.
Like
Exactly.
So are the days of our lives.
Dr. Tennyson's Vigor Pills. These would make a sloth act like a hummingbird. Is this really the best that medical science has to offer?
Okay, you always have
Science
to
of
look at books.
pharmacology. Yeah, I'm sure it's riveting stuff.
Leeches?
Yeah. I'm sure
The
that'll come in handy.
1800s.
How do I get out of here?
I think you just go to the right. Yeah, there you go. It took me a while to figure that out.
All right.
Let's play some piano. Harpsichord.
What do you want me to play?
A little Rachmaninoff would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, what's this? This is here for
concerto
a reason.
for one finger.
Yeah. Concerto for one finger. What's up, Clement? Welcome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a puzzle.
This is going to be a puzzle, but we're just not there yet.
I
Okay.
mean, we don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be, right?
Happy
I don't know much about art, but I see Madame Dupre and I at least have similar tastes.
What does he mean by that? Similar tastes. It's a portrait of a young man. Is that saying something?
The game is super progressive.
You're married to Addie, but maybe you have other things that you're dealing with.
Maybe.
Just wandering around the house. I love it. We can
Just looking at stuff.
Just looking at stuff.
I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much, though.
What did I tell you, Paul?
This game is really great. What's that?
What did I tell you?
What did
Francisco is saying in the chat, by the way, if you can chill a little, if anyone in the chat likes the look of this game, it's currently 40% off on Steam. Just saying. What did I say?
Currently. It wasn't before. It wasn't after before our thing.
I'm telling you, every game you play goes on sale.
Yeah.
Here we go. Whenever there's a bookshelf in a adventure game, you have to look at all the books, right? That's a rule.
Yeah,
It's a
of
law
course,
of
of
nature.
course. And let's see if he can punch the bookcase the way Curtis did. I don't think anybody can punch a bookcase the way Curtis Craig can.
One of those melodramatic romances. I read it a while back, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it.
Do you ever punch
Arson of
bookcases
Rapal.
at home, Paul?
Not anymore.
Convent.
Now that one sounds interesting. I was always a fan of Bedletter's short stories. Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. Wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting. Choice and consequence. Who in their right mind would write a book about that? I don't even want to know what that one's about. I read that one last year. If you ever wanted to know the intimate details of a buffalo's anatomy, I highly recommend it.
Riveting stuff.
All right. Yeah. And so here we are. Here we are at the whole point of this video. And I'm sure you're extremely impressed. But this book was actually my idea.
Wait, I love it. We got to the point. All right. Explain yourself. Equestrian mesmerism.
So what happened was on Twitter, Francisco said, "Hey, I need help coming up with book titles, for a bookshelf." And what I was picturing in my head was, one of those giant walls of books that you get in adventure games that are just, hundreds. I think there's one in Gabriel Knight 2. There's one in Ben Jordan 4. Yeah, and it's like, and I just compulsively have to look at every single book every time.
Bevin, before you move on, I just want to say one of the Hank Works wrote before you said this, I'm intrigued by equestrian mesmerism. So there's already intriguing.
I want to read it, but yeah. So he put out this call for help coming up with book titles, and so I was I asked him for more information. He told me, oh yeah, she's like a upper class lady. She's into horses. She's into the theater. I can't remember what he said. So I was just coming up with as many names as I could think of, because that's what I was picturing. He's having to populate this massive bookshelf. And then I had to wait a couple of years, and the game came out to see if any of my titles made it. And then I saw the shelf, and I laughed so hard because it's 4 books.
That's awesome. Well, let's read it. What does it say?
I mean, and it's great. It's great because that makes it even better that mine made the cut. But still, I was I couldn't think of 4 book titles. He needed Twitter's help. It's very funny to me.
So
anyway.
Wait, so you came up with a book title?
Yeah, that's it.
Just
book
the
title.
book's about.
Just the book title. That's
Not
it.
what he
That's
says
my-
about it.
He just says that out
No,
loud.
I don't even
no,
want to know what
and
that
I don't
one's
know
about.
who Dr. Edgar.
I don't even know what that
Fenton
one is about.
Yeah, so that's it. So that's my fun story about.
Oh,
contributing
I'm
to
so
this
glad
game.
we got to it because as
Yeah.
Daniel said when we were talking
The
before, you
game could have
mentioned
been
this to us.
couldn't have been the same without it.
But wait a
Yeah,
minute.
definitely. That was the highlight of this video. I am absolutely sure. All
Well,
right,
let's
what should we do next?
Well, I want to just at least give some clarity on this. So when we were talking prior to the stream, Bevin mentioned that this book, that something's going to come up in the game that she had something to do with, and she was saying that it usually takes about an hour into the game to get there. And Daniel said, "Well, in that case, we'll never get there, or it'll take 3 hours for Paul." And we did it in an hour 40, and actually less than an hour 40 because the first 30 minutes we were just yapping. So we did it really almost in an hour.
I want
That's
to
how
clarify. I said jokingly that it will take us 3 hours, but in the end, I told you that it will take us 2 hours. So
and
I
it
was
took us
kind of right.
less than that.
I skipped a bunch of stuff, but yeah, just to
Well,
get there.
I'm just
We've
glad
got
we did.
lots of cool places. We got lots of cool places we can go. Does someone else want to drive, or tell me where you want to?
Sure, I'll drive for a little bit. Give it over,
Okay.
hand it over.
Because there's lots of other stuff on the map. Like we can go to the jail. That's
There
good
you
to
go,
see.
Oh, let's go to the jail. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
Otis
Except
is
we
there.
can't- There we go. But I gotta check out the parrot. Come on, you gotta do the
Must have
parrot.
cost the Dupre's a cool
What?
copper.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Is this our front door? Probably. All right, we got people. Were they here before? Dr. Fellows. Dr. Fellows, Dr. Fellows.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
All right.
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
She is a great
some
woman
people again.
and a pillar of the
Have
community.
chases.
I cannot imagine why something like this could happen to her, or how someone could be capable of such a barbaric feat. Though this ordeal has been terrible, I am confident she will overcome. The power of her physical constitution is surpassed only by her strength of character.
Do you think he'd say the same things if he wasn't on her payroll? I highly doubt it.
All right, we got a lot of stuff here.
What were the
Is this the
circumstances
game
surrounding
that we
Madame
need to kind of
Dupre's
exhaust
supposed
all of these
death?
questions for
Her
us to
son,
get to the
Andrew,
next level,
sent
or
for
are
me
we
a few
able
days
to?
ago after finding her unconscious and unresponsive. As I was unable to detect
At this
a
point,
pulse or
I
breath,
think we can
I
just
had
sort
no
of
other
bounce
recourse but to
around.
declare
Okay.
her deceased.
I mean, we're
I
probably down
judged
to
that
our
Madame
last
Dupre had likely suffered a
20
sudden
minutes or
cardiac
so. I wanna
arrest. It was
see as
most
much as we
shocking to be
can.
proven wrong at her funeral.
I can imagine.
St. Denis.
Perhaps I'll go have a look.
Have a look. All right. No, we got an objective. That's good.
Those
Bye
are all
for
the
now.
questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
I'm sure you did. Let's see. What else do we got here? Let's. Okay. We got to investigate the Chesterton tomb. Let's go talk to Albert Martin, resident. Oh, it looks like the stuff did get. It looks like whatever the glitch was went away because everything else disappeared. Question residents of Dupree Manor. Okay, so let's go to the tomb. I have to go this way probably to get to the map. Okay. What's that? Coffee house.
We got a cemetery.
Cemetery. Manor. Jail. Jail.
Fordham? Is that you?
That's one
You
fancy
look like
jail.
something a cat spat
He
up.
said,
Hello,
Fordham? It
Giles.
sounded like he said, what
It's
up?
lovely to see you too.
What up?
What brings you around the jail? I thought you'd quit being a detective.
I'm looking to speak with Mr. Albert Martin.
Oh, I see. Well, that's him in the first cell there. I'd say what needs saying as quick as you can, though. He's headed for the gallows in the morning.
What? Already? But what about a trial?
No trial necessary when there's black magic involved. This little half-breed's already sealed his fate.
Such a charming fellow, isn't he?
That's how it works. I work in the legal field now, and that's how it works. If there's black magic, instant execution.
Mr. Martin?
So you're an
Who are
authority
you?
now.
My lawyer?
Mhm.
No, I'm actually
It's
here
true.
to help you. The name's Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
How are you going to help me?
I'm looking into the attack on Madame Dupre. I believe you're innocent.
Oh,
Black magic
thank
claws.
heaven. That's music to my ears.
Would you mind answering a few questions for me?
Friend, if it means saving me from the noose, I'll tell you nothing less than God's truth.
Interesting choice of phrase for someone accused of using black magic.
Well, ATM machine, I want to see if Francisco will confirm this. He says the jail here is clearly modeled on the jail in the first Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes game, I'd say. True or not true? What do you have to say for yourself? In the meantime, let's find out about Madame Dupre.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
What's to tell? She's a twisted, evil woman who got what was coming to her. Whoever attacked her deserves some sort of reward for the service they're doing the community.
So it wasn't you then?
You sound innocent.
No, I'm innocent, Mr. Fordham.
I'm afraid you're not making that very easy right now, Mr. Martin.
Okay, all right. I'm skipping ahead pretty good. This is good. I'm getting the gist, and we don't have to.
How did you end up in here?
I was just minding my own business at home when the police showed up with no warning. They made some outrageous claims about me putting some sort of curse on Madame Dupre. The next thing I knew, Mama must be beside herself with worry.
Mama. All right. Dupre's death.
Do you know anything about the circumstances of Madame?
No, I had nothing to do with it.
Then why did her son accuse you?
Probably because he's just as ignorant as she is.
What I meant was, how did her son know to accuse you? Have you had any contact with the family before?
Yes, you could say that.
Uh-oh. That gleam in his eye says it all.
You see, I'm involved with Dupre's daughter, Juliette Montgomery. Dupre doesn't like that one bit. She even threatened me once.
Is that right?
Yes. She might have everyone else fooled, but that woman is the devil incarnate. I can't understand how something so heartless and cruel could have spawned someone as pure and, loving as...
He's not really helping his case much, is he?
No, he's not. All right, but we're going to also... Unless we need to unlock something. Do we have to unlock something?
We still have places we can go.
Okay,
We can go to the tomb.
Let's go to the tomb.
That's all for now.
All right, off we go. Yeah, let's go on a tour right now and see as many places as we can because the artwork is so cool. Cemetery.
Nice. St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it. I think I'm buried around here somewhere. Wonder how the old gravestone is doing these days.
Can we go see his grave? Let's find his grave. Nothing? I gotta go in the tomb, I guess.
If only that police officer wasn't guarding the tomb, you could go in there and raid it to your heart's content.
We gotta get rid of him. What can we do to get rid of him?
I don't know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you. Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum.
The chum.
Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb.
I like it's
may
good
think
that
it's a
now
silly
we have
superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every
our
now
dead
and
partner giving all the information when we look at stuff. I think that's a good
plaque says
My
house.
question
Doesn't
about
look
the
very
no
opulent.
inventory
So I
thing
guess it doesn't
is
belong to anyone
how do you
important.
remember what you have in your inventory?
So I guess we gotta go talk to this dude.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
Yeah, nice day for a walk through the cemetery. I need to get into that
Would you
tomb.
mind
Let's get
letting
right
me
to
in
it.
the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir. This tomb is currently
Look over
part
there.
of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
But it's my dear departed Aunt Hester's birthday. I think I just saw someone being mugged at the front
I
entrance.
think I saw someone being mugged at the front entrance.
Nice try, sir. But that's clearly a bunch of bull. You're just trying to get me to step away.
What? No, I would never.
In any case, there's another officer stationed at the entrance, so if there was...
Well, at the very least, it's nice to see the department is hiring competent officers who aren't easily
fooled. Okay, well, nothing we can do here. What can we do? Is there a way? We do have sort of a task right now is to get rid of him so we can get into the tomb. So, is it require more talking, or can we find a... There's the tomb. Nothing to pick up. I guess I have to talk to him some more.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time. Please, move.
Okay, so now, I guess let's go this way. Is this going to just take us to the map again? It does. Well, okay, so is this, we can't get in there now because we have to unlock some other things in the game. Well, let's just see what else we got. Fordham residence. Have we been there before? That's where we started, right? Is that our house?
Mhm.
Bow Street Jail. Let's check out 451 Compton Street.
Ah, Compton Street. We're not too far from Restaurant Row. When's the last time you ate anyway?
Please, let's not add eating to the list of things to nag me about.
Last time you guys ate anything? You guys getting hungry?
Yeah, it's midnight.
Bevin, did you have a nice lunch? All right, good. Well, good for you guys.
Glad
I'm
the
hungry.
Coulson still uses horses. I don't trust the new self-driving cabs.
Wait a second. Francisco, do you know Hebrew?
Considering
Why
how
is
many
there a
eating
Hebrew
establishments,
sentence
I do
written
notice a
on the
distinct
bricks
lack
over there?
of stray cats.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. The little horse stuck on this. This is really cool. Can I walk down this area?
Bon Bon's restaurant. I never got a chance to go there. But
Okay, so I think the only chance thing I got here is
Francisco,
this
I need
door.
to know who wrote that sentence.
I'm sorry, I have
Yeah,
no
me
time for
too.
visitors today.
Who wrote what sentence?
This one.
Oh.
This one says in Hebrew, "Are you a cat?"
I need to speak with you about Albert Martin.
Albert? Are you with the police?
No, I'm a private investigator.
Oh, I don't think you can help. I'm
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way.
Good day to you, sir.
What? No, we got to get in there. She knows something. Oh, that takes me. No, let's go. Can we get that? I want to go back there.
We haven't solved the mystery of the Hebrew.
Yeah.
Bon Bon's restaurant. I never
Okay,
got
we
a
did
chance.
that.
Google
Can I go
Translate.
anywhere?
Considering how many eating establishments, I do
What?
notice a distinct lack of stray.
Well, is there anywhere I can go? Can I go into any
Glad
cabin?
the Coulson
great.
still uses
I'm
horses.
so glad.
I don't trust the new
So
self.
glad we found that.
Francisco says it's a little in-joke I have with a friend. We leave messages in other languages and backgrounds. Well, first of all, kudos on getting the right-to-left text right, because usually when people do that without actually understanding Hebrew, they write it backwards because of the right-to-left text. So, well done.
Okay, so unless I'm mistaken, there's nothing else to do there. We have to deal with that later. So
I don't know, this was the highlight of the game for me.
You're done.
That
You're
was
basically
pretty good.
you're done trying to solve the murder. You just were
I'm
happy
really
that you
glad
saw
we-
some Hebrew.
I
Okay.
want to know who that person is and why is he a cat.
I think I might know who it is. But I'm not gonna
Back
say.
home. Let's talk.
Honey,
to
I'm
her.
home.
Let's
Because I
talk to
probably
her
don't
level.
I've
know.
always wanted to say that.
Good to see you've made it back in one piece. So what's this big case Upton's got you on? Another missing pet?
If only. A Gascon Grand Dame was attacked, and
You mean Madame Dupre? The one whose obituary was in the paper?
the very same.
Goodness, that does sound... Tell me if there's anything I can do to help. I know you haven't been feeling your best lately.
You're always a help to me,
Yeah,
Addie.
totally.
Though I assure you I have this well in hand.
I certainly hope
No,
so.
you don't. She could totally help you. Give her a chance. All right, what do we do
She's
here?
very helpful.
Yeah.
Your book
What do you
collection has
think?
always
Great.
astonished me. Heaven help you if you ever decide to move.
We can't look at
Your
these
book
books.
collection has always astonished me. Heaven
You know
help
why?
you if you ever
Because-
decide to move.
Bevin didn't
I
get
have
a chance.
so many more. I have so many more titles.
Do you remember any of them?
No, that's
Okay,
the only
but-
one. That was my favorite. The one he used was my favorite. It's the only one I remember. But I mean, I'm sure someone could go back and find some of them.
Wait,
It's admirable just
Bevin,
how
are you
organized
credited in the
Adelaide
game?
is. Maybe
Are you
someday
listed
the
in
same.
the credits?
I hope not. For
Okay.
that.
Ha, that poster brings back some.
Yes.
We go in here.
Oh, wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who?
So? Addie gave it to me. Besides, it gives me character.
Right. Brooding detective in a long black coat. That's never been seen before.
What are you talking about, Bill?
Never mind.
All right, I can't go in anywhere. I can't pick up anything. So not much to do here, unless you guys think of something I should be grabbing or. Oh,
Is there something in the closet?
Care to explain what you're doing?
Just
tell us
checking
what
to
you're
make
doing,
sure
Miles.
everything that needs to be in here still is.
Right. If you start taking that stuff during the day, you're really going to have problems.
Oh, we're still a little bit hooked on the funny sauce, huh? All right, let's
Then
look at
how
our.
will we get our exposition without the voices in our heads?
So these things are still here.
Mm-hmm.
Have we done these things yet? We did question Albert Martin. We didn't question him all the way through.
Yeah,
We
we
never
did.
really-
We kind of skipped through stuff at the manor.
What else do we need to know? Clues. No clues. We're clueless. Not surprising. Message from Upton. Fordham, a big case has come in, which I think you interested. You beat me at the room call. We did that already. Okay. Where would you like us to go, Bevin? What do you think?
Boy, I don't know.
Have a lovely day, Addie.
I wish you'd let me
Done
fix your
everything.
hair before you go out like that.
You've done
It'll
all
be
you wanted
fine.
to do. You got to see your book. Daniel got
No,
to see some. Daniel got to see some
The Hebrew Easter egg. Yeah.
Hebrew.
No,
and
we've done things.
who cares about the murder? Who cares about?
Who cares?
Sullivan?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
No,
a ghost.
we've done things in kind of a weird order, so I kind of can't remember what we've done and what we haven't. But there's a lot more to do at the house, I think, at the manor.
Where we just were? No, the manor.
The manor, yeah.
No, where'd the manor go? This dude. Okay. All right, we can talk to her. We haven't
But
talked
I
to
can't
her.
remember
Eyes are
if we have
glazed
to
over, and
completely.
she's got a vacant,
We might have
expressionless
to
stare.
completely talk
She
to
seems
the
completely
guy at the
oblivious to
jail.
her surroundings. If we
Francisca
didn't know she'd
says
been
I
buried
would
alive,
suggest
I'd say she
finishing
was just exhibiting the
interrogating
typical
Albert.
symptoms of your average rich person.
Yeah, we should finish the jail.
All right, coming back to you later, there, Madame.
Could I ask you some more questions, Mr. Martin?
It's not like I'm going anywhere.
Juliet.
Tell me about Juliet.
She's wonderful. Such a beautiful... She hasn't come to see me yet, but I'm sure that's because of all the confusion in the last few days. Juliet wouldn't
Yeah, maybe
believe for a
not.
second that I would be capable of harming her mother. I'm sure of it.
How did you two get involved?
We met at the university.
Your classmates?
Hardly. They wouldn't allow someone like me to enroll there. Juliet studies botany. I work as an assistant in the greenhouse. We started talking, and she actually treated me like a person. To everyone else, I was just the boy who fetched the test tubes. But Juliet actually wanted to hear what I had to say. Had the same taste in books and art. Didn't just treat me like some piece of... She even shared some of her notes with me after I told her I was interested in botany as well. From there, things just got better. I don't expect you to understand or
plants.
approve, but that's how it happened.
Oh, you'd be surprised. It doesn't sound too different to how my wife and I got together. Except I was a detective and she was a singer at a bar.
And she's...
Singer at a bar.
Yes, Mr. Martin. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. How often is Juliet in the greenhouse?
Every weekday, but I doubt she's
What did
there
I
now.
miss?
She's probably trying to find out where I am and working to have me released.
Somehow, I wouldn't bet on that.
Me neither. Oh, but we got ourselves an objective.
An objective.
Mother.
What does your mother do, Mr. Martin?
She helps people.
I was hoping you'd be just a bit more specific.
What?
She provides spiritual help to those who seek guidance.
Spiritual.
She's a spiritualist.
Yeah.
Not quite. She's more like... How can I explain it? You know how a priest holds mass to spread the word of God to the people? My mother holds services and calls on the spirits to walk among us, providing healing and guidance.
So
We
she's
got
a
one of those
religious leader?
ourselves. We are
If
buddies.
you want to give her that title, it would
He's
be
gonna
the
help
most
us talk to
appropriate.
Bill.
And does
We
this
talk to Bill all
religion
the
of yours
time,
have
so
a
we don't-
name?
You'd probably know it as voodoo, but it doesn't mean what you think
Voodoo,
it
a little
does.
bit of
People are so
real
quick to
night going on
judge and
here.
portray
Tell me
us as
about voodoo.
evil when they have...
Let's find out about Boo Boo.
It's a
So you
dialogue
practice
option.
voodoo, do you?
Are you making fun of me, Mr. Fordham?
No, of
Voodoo,
course
do
not.
you?
Apologies if it seemed as though I was. It's just that the police are convinced.
That's because that idiot son of hers knew about my mother, and like all bigoted fools, assumed that we're involved in devil worship. But I can assure you that this is most certainly not the case, Mr. Fordham.
Of course, I didn't mean to imply.
Just forget it.
That's all for now.
Wait, before you go, would you do me a favor? Would you go see my mother at our house and give her a message?
You're at 451.
Yes, that's right.
Paul, you know,
Could
I
you
just
tell
checked
her I said
speedrun.com.
Saint Rock's dog is barking?
I'm doing pretty good so far. Am I
yes.
on track to
thank
break
you.
a record?
Whatever
for
happened
this,
to a simple
game?
I love you?
So on speedrun.com, this game doesn't have an official world record. So even if we finish the game in 8 hours, we could submit the run and be first place.
Oh, that's great. The
We'll submit
Bevin
the world record of finishing this game in 8
Albu
hours.
Stetler.
Yeah.
We'll be the first.
We'll share the credit with Bevin as well.
Yeah. Well, folks.
Well, we needed Francisco to get this far.
It's 2 o'clock, and we sort of did our 2 hours for the day, and I think now's the time we'll save, and we'll figure out another time to come back to this game. But I want to thank everybody for joining us. Especially, it was a real pleasure meeting you, Bevin. Thank you so much for taking the time and for picking this game. And by the way, I love that radio in the background. Tell me about that. What is the story behind your awesome old-fashioned radio?
It's an antique from the 90s.
From the 90s.
There was a big like thing that sort of went on with like
Ozzy Astaroth
fake
tipped
antique
5
electronics.
Great. Thank you
90s.
for introducing us to another great game. I think I'll pick it up. Also, I know I'm not the only one who would gladly pick up any game if Paul is in it. Time to get that voice reel ready.
That's right. That's right. You know what? You guys are missing out on. You would be selling so many more games if you had some Curtis Craig voice acting in it. Exactly. Thanks, Ozzy. Thanks for being, I think, our only donor today. This has been an interesting
Francisco,
day.
Now that Ozzy bought your game, you should donate the money to us.
Exactly. Anyways, no. So this is a. I wanted to hear that story, and then we got our first donation. So please continue or tell us again.
That's it. That's the story. Yeah, it's just there was a while in the 90s when everyone got into like really retro sort of electronics, and
it works.
Pretty much.
Can you get the Mariner game if you need to?
And it's got a little. Yeah, and it's got a little cassette thingy on the side, and I listen to old timey radio shows.
Nice.
That's great. Yeah.
That's great.
ZJ Wex tipped 40 pieces 08. Thanks for the great stream. Also, radio? Huh? What's going on with that radio? Only real OGs know this quote.
Oh, radio? What's going on with that radio? Now that's got to be a game.
Is that Silent Hill?
Oh, is it? We got to play that game. We've never played that. I'm hearing so many things about it. Are you a big Silent Hill fan? What's your favorite game? Like, what are some of your other favorite games, Bevin? What are some things that you...
I started playing games in about 1990 with Ultima 5 and Star Control, and then I discovered Sierra Adventure Games, and I used to play those with my dad a lot, like all the Sierra catalog, until all of the games got to until they hit the point where they wouldn't work on the computer I had, and I couldn't afford a computer. I didn't even have a computer that had like a CD drive until like 2001. Like I was way behind.
But you played these games with your dad. That's how fun. Was that something he was into, and then it was a way for you to connect, or what was the?
Yeah, he would just sit there next to me and watch and try and help me solve the puzzles. Like one of the first ones that we played together was Lorabo 2, because my dad was actually an archaeologist. And I was really into Egypt when I was a kid. And so it was like playing this, game around archaeology was very fun. We didn't play the voiced version, thankfully, because the voiced version is kind of horrifying. But we did, so we played the non-voiced version, and the only voice you hear in that whole game, if you don't have the voiced version, is the archaeologist song, which comes out of nowhere when you don't expect it. And it's a classic song of 90s adventure games. Check it out, the archaeologist song. It's a great song.
And was this
and my dad being an archaeologist, he was like falling on the floor laughing. So yeah.
That's great. I love it. And was this his way of, you were playing the games and he decided to come over and sort of check and play with you, or was he the one saying, or was he the game player and wanted to have you teach you how to play some stuff?
I was the game player and he would just basically watch. He most of them were things that he bought me as presents, like when he needed to buy me a present for a birthday or Christmas or something, or graduation. It was games that he bought me because he knew that was like what, and he would sit there and watch and try and help me solve puzzles. Yeah.
And you played a bunch of Sierra games. Did you have the same kind of frustration that Daniel has told us about ad nauseum over and over again, about how frustrating they are and how?
Yes. Yeah. There were many I just did not finish. And I remember that I think it was actually Lorabo 2 was the first time I ever went on the internet. We had to go into my dad's office because they had a modem there. And we had to like dial up to this special hint line because we were so stuck, and we'd been in the same spot for like a month and a half. And we had to and there was this like thing where you could like get a hint, and we had never, been on the internet before. And so we went and like tried to figure that out, got a hint. And there was something, that we would never have in a million years thought of. So
that's great.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard going back then.
Well, I've heard all about it, and I'm glad I missed it. And it's fun playing with you guys both. Thank you so much for joining us, Bevin. And
that was great.
We'll please stay in touch, and it's a pleasure to meet a fellow Seattleite, and maybe we'll run into each other on the Fremont. Is the statue still there? Is it what is the one?
The Lenin statue?
The Lenin statue. Is that still there?
That's still there as far as I know. Yeah. I don't get out much. It's like a 2-minute walk from here, but I'm like, have I actually been there in a while? I'm not sure.
That's funny. Well, best of luck with the new career as the paralegal, and we'll be in touch soon. Thanks so much. And thanks everyone for joining us on a Friday. Hope you have a great weekend. And we're back on Monday. I think, Daniel, what are we Monday? Are we back just you and me playing some
Day of the Tentacle?
Yeah, so we're going to play Day of the Tentacle on Monday. And then I believe our good friend Tori is going to be back with us on Wednesday for some more her story. And then maybe a little bit more Ripper on Friday. So stay tuned, and we'll let you all know what's going on. Till then, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. This voice for hire.